Welcome back to Read Alouds with Miss Green. Today we're reading a new book called Millions of Cats. It's by Wanda. What do you think this book is about? That's a pretty good guess. Let's see if you're right. Millions of Cats. Once upon a time there was a very old man and a very old woman. They lived in a nice clean house which had flowers all around it except where the door was. But they couldn't be happy because they were so very lonely. If we only had a cat, sighed the very old woman. A cat? Asked the very old man. Yes, a sweet little fluffy cat, said the very old woman. I will get you a cat, my dear, said the very old man. And he set out over the hills to look for one. He climbed over the sunny hills. He trudged through the cool valleys. He walked a long, long time, and at last he came to a hill which was quite covered with cats. Cats here, cats there, cats and kittens everywhere. Hundreds of cats, thousands of cats, millions and billions and trillions of cats. It's a lot of cats. Oh, cried the old man joyfully, now I can choose the prettiest cat and take it home with me. So he chose one. It was white, but just as he was about to leave, he saw another one, all black and white, and it seemed just as pretty as the first. So he took this one also. But then he saw a fuzzy gray kitten way over here, which was every bit as pretty as the others. So he took it too. And now he saw one way down in a corner, which he thought too lovely to leave, so he took this cat too. What do you think is going to happen with all of these cats? Would you take all of those cats? Interesting. And just then, over here, this very old man found a kitten which was black and very beautiful. It would be a shame to leave that one, said the very old man, so he took it. And now over there he saw a cat which had brown and yellow stripes like a baby tiger. I simply must take it, cried the very old man, and he did. So it happened that every time the very old man looked up, he saw another cat, which was so pretty he could not bear to leave it, and before he knew it, he had chosen them all. And so he went back over the sunny hills and down through the cool valleys, to show all his pretty kittens to the very old woman. It was very funny to see those hundreds and thousands and millions and billions and trillions of cats following him. They came to the pond. Meow, meow. We are thirsty, cried the hundreds of cats, thousands of cats, millions and billions and trillions of cats. Well, here is a great deal of water, said the very old man. Each cat took a sip of water, and the pond was gone. Now we are hungry, said the hundreds of cats, thousands of cats, millions and billions and trillions of cats. There is much grass on the hill, said the very old man. Each cat ate a mouthful of grass. Not a blade was left. Pretty soon, excuse me. Pretty soon the very old woman saw them coming. My dear, she cried, what are you doing? I asked for one little cat, and what do I see? Cats here, cats there, cats and kittens everywhere. Hundreds of cats, thousands of cats, millions and billions and trillions of cats. Do you think you would be happy or sad if somebody brought you that many cats? But we can never feed them all, said the very old woman. They will eat us out of house and home. I never thought of that, said the very old man. What shall we do? The very old woman thought for a while, and then she said, I know. We will let the cats decide which one we should keep. Oh, yes, said the very old man, and he called to the cats. Which one of you is the prettiest? I am, no, I am, no, I am the prettiest. I am, no, I am, cried hundreds and thousands and millions and billions and trillions of voices, for each cat thought itself the prettiest, and they began to quarrel. Do you know what it means to quarrel? It means to argue and fight. They bit and scratched and clawed each other and made such a great noise that the very old man and the very old woman ran into the house as fast as they could. They did not like such quarreling, but after a while the noise stopped, and the very old man and the very old woman peeped out of the window to see what had happened. They could not see a single cat. I think they must have eaten each other all up, said the very old woman. It's too bad, but look, said the very old man, and he pointed to a bunch of high grass. In it sat one little frightened kitten. They went out and picked it up. It was thin and scraggly. Poor little kitty, said the very old woman. Dear little kitty, said the very old man. How did it happen that you were not eaten up with all those hundreds and thousands and millions and billions and trillions of cats? Oh, I'm just very homely, little cat, said the kitten. So when you asked who was the prettiest, I didn't say anything, so nobody bothered about me. They took the kitten into the house, where the very old woman gave it a warm bath and brushed its fur until it was soft and shiny. Every day they gave it plenty of milk, and soon it grew nice and plump. Do you know what plump means? Kind of like fat, but just filled out more. Healthy. And it is a very pretty cat after all, said the very old woman. It is the most beautiful cat in the whole world, said the very old man. I ought to know, for I've seen hundreds of cats, thousands of cats, millions and billions and trillions of cats, and not one was as pretty as this one. The end. Why do you think that in the end the scraggly kitten was the prettiest one? Right, because the scraggly kitten wasn't putting itself above all the other kittens. It was saying, I'm not as great as everybody. He was being what we call humble, okay? Humble is knowing yourself, but not putting yourself down, okay? It's knowing where your strengths are, where your gifts are. And this kitten didn't want to fight with all of the other kittens. It didn't want to say, I'm the best out of all of you, okay? Right? Because we're all equal in the sight of God, okay? We're all loved by God, and He loves us to the most He can love us, which is way more than we can love each other. And in the same way, we have to love each other. So did all of the thousands and millions and trillions of cats love each other? No, they just fought and argued, but it was the one kitten who didn't fight and argue that got the good home and all the milk and ended up being one of the most beautiful cats because of that. So let's remember to always be humble and to care for those around us. Bye.